Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another game with Team Rampage, as we will watch Team Rampage take on Team Azalea. While Team Azalea's name is actually much longer, I'm not going to be able to say it throughout the entire game, so they will be shortened to Team Azalea. Alright, we are out the gate quite early here. A Ryan Zarya comp from Team Rampage versus a Winston Diva Dive comp coming from Team Azalea. It's going to get interesting, but with that May Reaper, it's going to be really difficult for the Winston to get the value I think that he's looking for. Farming the ultimate is going to be the most difficult thing for him to do, and hopefully he can find good ways to do that without getting himself caught out, because if he's frozen by the May a single time, it's really not going to look good for him. As we know, the Rampage can really collapse down on top of somebody, and they can really eliminate somebody very, very quickly. So diving in and out with a Winston or a Diva is going to be very difficult with that May roaming around the back line. It looks like Guillotine will find a very early kill onto Venom Man, making things not look great, but it looks like 2 more kills coming from the Rampage. 3 now, excuse me, are going to make it a turnaround very quickly in favor of the Rampage. The ult charge in their favor as well. Sarang, the Tracer from Team Azalea, almost having that ultimate already, but Dante getting staggered so late, really not going to look good here. 25% from the Winston versus 65% from the Reinhardt. That's a very big ultimate difference. And Derpy plays a very aggressive Reinhardt, so farming that Shatter is not something he's concerned about, as he knows he can farm it very quickly. The tanks here are going to flank around the back line. And the entire team not far behind here. 10% off the Blade, but 25% off the Nano. Guillotine falling very early to Venom Man, not looking good again for Team Azalea. Tajidu dropping very low. He's being caught a little bit out of place here. He will end up falling to Sarang, not missing the headshots here. The Pulse Bomb comes out, picks up none. The res on the Winston for Team Azalea is looking good. They might be able to flip this point in their favor. Derpy has the Shatter, but if he uses it, it's not going to look good. He will die before getting to confirm anything if he's dangerous here, but if he plays safely, he can be healed enough to survive the fight. With just the Diva roaming around in the front line, they're going to try to clean up this DMAC here. It looks like they're possibly going for the stagger, but it's just not quite what they want. As Diva's getting out. No, excuse me, the Diva will tactically reset herself, not even needing to be reset by the Rampage. The stagger inevitable through an essence of the fact that the Diva didn't reset herself earlier, adding another 5 to 10 seconds of staggering herself. The Blade is ready, as is the Nano, and there's almost 6 ultimates. We almost have an ult apocalypse on the side of the Rampage here. But if the Nano Blade comes out, and if they cannot get the beat onto him, here comes the Blade, but do we see the beat? The beat does connect in just a matter of seconds. Very, very close frames there, almost destroyed. The Graviton Surge is eaten by Kill Switch on the side of Azalea, so Andromedus no longer has an ultimate. Shatter comes from Derpy, picks up a few. He gets his 2 kills here, possibly 3. He does confirm that 3rd kill. The Rampage are going to be able to hold on to this point just a little bit longer. He gets the pin kill, but not... Or he gets the charge kill, but not the pin. You love to see those. Using 4 ultimates in one fight, the Rampage are really going to have to hold on for just a few more percent, but with the Primal Rage and the Bomb ready, they're going to have a lot of stall potential here in order to fight against the Rampage and try to get this point. The Rampage comes out, or excuse me, the Primal Rage comes out very early, but it's immediately slept by Tijidu. Tracer's been eliminated at a 5v6 with the Blizzard coming out. If this bomb is big, things could really get sloppy. No, the bomb only picks up 1, and 3 are already dead on the side of Team Azalea. The Rampage looking good. All they have to really do is just clean up this point now. Only a few heroes left. Overtime is slowly ticking down, and the Rampage confirm a very early map. That's one of 3 maps we'll be seeing on Lijang Tower tonight. The Rampage in a technical game point. If they can complete this map, the second map, then they will win the map. But if Team Azalea pulls a reverse sweep on them, then Team Azalea will get the point for the first map. We will be playing 5 maps this evening as well. Mui swapping onto that Ashe, Derpy onto the Orisa. We're seeing the Rampage transform into a double shield. And a couple of swaps coming out of Team Azalea. No more Genji, got a Doomfist instead. No more Tracer, we have a Symmetra instead. But they've got the double shield as well, but with the aggression of the Reinhardt over the Sigma. What I believe is a better play, as the Reinhardt can get a lot more done, especially with the Lucio boosting him in very quickly. Tajidu on that Zenyatta is going to be a very dangerous thing to be with a Doomfist roaming around, and even a Moira roaming around to confirm kills in the back line. Astronomical waits first team. Looks like they will be teleporting up into the window. A very common strategy, one that we've seen many, many times against the Rampage and by the Rampage. So early point advantage here for Team Azalea is looking good, as now the Rampage have to come to them, so the Azalea don't have to play as aggressive. But Tajidu gets a kill onto Dantec very early here. Really not looking good for him. Very many times we see Dantec kind of caught out like that. While he may not be the first kill of fights, things are always caught out in a way like that. Astronomical gets aggressive. They're trying to kill 2, but is eliminated. Venom Man is picked out by Sarang. The Symmetric being definitely worth it, as the Echo is going to have to come through some very unusual flanks here to get past the turrets. Louis throws the dynamite. It does bounce off the top, but with 70% on Bob already, he lights himself on fire. Kind of a weird move there, just walking into his own dynamite. 75% onto the ultimate. If Mui can get Bob, he can flip this point into his team's favor, but with 20% already on the point for Team Azalea, they've gotten a lot of free damage here, a lot of free percent here because the Rampage just can't find a way in with those symmetric turrets everywhere. Bob does come through, confirming the kill onto Kill Switch. The beat comes out already too late as one is already dead. He punches the Bob, but does not punch him off the map, just barely over the edge. Sarang finding another kill on Derpy. That symmetric just holding left click. We know that can be dangerous as that full charge beam can rip any hero to shreds. Shield or not, Astronomical falls dangerously low, but it looks like he will not be able to go down here. A very unusual strategy that the Team Azalea here are playing against other teams the Rampage normally play against is they're playing heroes we don't normally see. A lot of teams will play, you know, what is meta or what fits best, but Azalea running a Doomfist and a Symmetra, the Symmetra being common on this map, but the Doomfist really being the thing that kind of makes me go, like that's unusual. But it seems to be working out very well. Astronomical's been doing lots of damage, and he's actually been doing quite well up to this point. I don't expect to see that change anytime soon. Andromedus has the ult, but falls very early to the Coalescence. Derpy's very crit as well. With Immortality Field gone, Kill Switch lands a massive shatter, picking up 3, all 3 being eliminated very quickly. 75% on the map. Team Azalea may be able to hold on to this without the Rampage even getting a percent. Team Azalea now just has to kind of hang out on point and hug the point and don't really have to do anything much. They just wait for the Rampage to come back, and they do it all again. With 1 ultimate on the side of Team Azalea and almost 5 coming from the Rampage definitely have the ult advantage and are ready to push forward here. Possibly getting a big Orisa pull into a Sigma ult could really clean up the point for them. As predicted, here is the Sigma ult, but I did not see the Orisa pull. Slams down, no kills confirmed, but now Andromedus is just hanging out in the back line. Kill Switch falls very early. Bob comes out again from Mui. The shields being absolutely eliminated. The beat was wasted once again. It looks like the Rampage are finally going to turn this point around in their favor. A pretty routine cleanup here, using 3 out of the 4 ultimates they had, but now they have 2 more. Using 3 ultimates to win that fight did seem a little bit unnecessary, but I guess they had to do what they had to do to win that fight. Andromedus making the engagement and cleaning up most of the kills on his own. Very good tech here from the Sigma. And with 1 ultimate coming from Team Azalea, it's the Symmetra wall, which really could make or break a fight as it cuts line of sight for healing and it cuts possible damage for all of the Rampage. If they're on the wrong side of the shield, they're going to get caught out. I assume they're going to teleport right back in, and then they're going to use the wall on point and play around it. That's the most tactical thing to do here. And I am correct in assuming that. Astronomical finds Taijitu in a literal second, and that is really not good for the Rampage. They need that healing. They need that Discord even. Immortality Field already coming out as well. The Rampage look like they're just going to get cleaned up here. They're not ready for such a level of aggression coming from the Azalea. This Lijang Tower probably already being one of the closest games we've seen with the Rampage. Mui gets picked out by Dantec using a very aggressive Coalescence, but it seems to be paying out. The Shatter is ready, but it will not come through as Venom Man loses that Reinhardt very, very early. With just a literal frame left in overtime, somebody was able to touch, but it looks like this may be where we end here. Things not looking exactly ideal for the Rampage, but they still have a map 3, excuse me. They can still turn this around. Another huge ult coming from Andromedus. Yeah, a very large ult coming from Andromedus. He picks up 2. Very, very lucky. Looking good here. Things are looking fantastic, and it looks like the Rampage are not going to be able to turn this around, however. They get a lot of kills, but they cannot get the kills as quickly as they'd like to. Andromedus does get eliminated, and that really was not good for them. Even though the Rampage are here to put up a fight, things are going to get difficult to stay alive. They're now just filing in 1 by 1, and that's really not what they need. They really can't afford to do that, and Azalea just wait for that time to tick down, and they are able to flip this map in their favor and make it a 1-1 on Lijang Tower. We're going to be moving into map 3 here, and we have to think maybe they used the wrong comp here from the Rampage, and that just seems like something that we've seen that mistake before. We've seen them do that before. Maybe they just played the wrong tanks, maybe swapping to that Zarya Rein earlier. Although Andromedus got those big ults, possibly a Graviton Surge could have done them better than the Gravitic Flux. It's something we don't see often from them, but it's something that I think maybe isn't their best call. We know that their best plays are the dive comps or the Rein Zarya. We know that they can absolutely stomp on either of those. May Reaper from both sides. We've got almost a mirror match here with an Orisa over a Rein and an Ana over a Moira, but I do think the Moira is the better pick here, especially if they're not running the Reinhardt. Excuse me, they are back to the Reinhardt, which means we are almost entirely in a mirror match. No, Astronomical proving me wrong again. I've really got to stop trying to predict what they're going to do on attack maps as it changes literally until the gate opens. I think this is going to be a good round for the Rampage, though, if they can hold that aggression they normally have. But we do know that Derpy has a rather reckless series of dive dying first on this map in the Rein v Rein fight. He always gets his ultimate and then dies immediately after. It's something that we've seen time and time again. Guillotine left shifts in. Things are looking good. Derpy already caught out by that wall, but it looks like he will not fall quite yet. It's a complete team fight. It's just Lijang Tower Control Center. The first thing, you've got to get a pick on the enemy team. These fights are always reckless from everyone, but you've just got to find those confirmations. You've got to find those picks. Sarang gets pinned into the wall. I didn't even see he was there. Absolutely incredible. Derpy, as predicted, the first one to get that shatter, but it just, can he get it out at this point? Drops to less than 100 health. At less than 100, he drops the shatter, but is immediately taken out by an alternate fire from Kill Switch. Guillotine gets the shatter as well, but it is blocked with an incredibly timed wall from Venom Man. Team Azalea is able to clean this fight up over the Rampage. The Rampage putting in an ultimate, 2 ultimates, excuse me, while Team Azalea has only put in 1. Tajidu caught out on his own, is going to be caught out of line here and will most likely fall. With the nano boost coming through, a lot of ultimates used, especially for that being a first fight, but now there are none left. Mubi dropping to literally less than 10 health, but it looks like he was able to make it out of the fight, luckily enough. It looks like now Team Azalea has captured the point there, 10% of the point. They're going to be holding that tight left corridor. It's something very common we see on this map. They're going to hold up close and personal, because if they lose the fight, they really don't lose much, because they can return to the point. Guillotine hitting, I believe, was booped by Malorad into the pin on Venom Man. The grab, what is that called? The Space Jam, if you will, I believe is what that move is called, when with the Meteor Strike and the Graviton Surge the Graviton Surge coming in together. It's just a team clean without a Lucio ultimate or a Zenyatta ultimate, maybe even an Immortality Field, but it's just a very dangerous thing to run into. Astronomical is going to be guarding this point a little bit, trying to flank around the outside, most likely going for a pick here on one of the supports. He may dive in front line and just kind of fire that left click as much as possible, but it's going to be smarter for him to flank all the way around and look for a pick on a Tajidu or Malorad. Tajidu has swapped onto that Moira, so he's going to be a much more difficult target for that Doomfist. The mobility makes it very difficult. The fade in particular makes it very difficult for the Doomfist to be hitting these punches, because the Moira just has to be paying a little bit of attention, and she'll hear that sound every time. Derpy goes for a very early charge. The Blizzard coming out from Sarang here. Looks like it's going to catch Derpy out. But the Blizzard come out from Venom Man as well. The beat being dropped from Malorad and Lil Fryer. All the ultimates are coming out. Mui presses Q, but nobody's there to eat those bullets. Mui wastes his ultimate there in a desperate attempt to clean this point up. And they are still out. Oh, a massive shatter coming out of Guillotine here. Derpy was already paying too much attention to the enemy line. The boop into the shatter. Absolutely fantastic coordination from Malorad and Derpy, but even with such a cool play under their belts, they're still not going to be able to turn this point around in their favor. Malorad let down to half health. The beat will not be coming out anytime soon. Tajidu again caught out of line. Looks like he may have faded the wrong way in that fight, and they just followed him down. They tracked him down and killed him. That stagger may cost the Rampage the map here, even with Malorad again being picked before he can even touch the stagger. Absolutely going to cost the Rampage here, pushing in without either of their healers right now, because they just need to get point presence. The Graviton Surge is ready from Andromedus. It looks like all teams will be Graviton Surged onto the point. Things always get sloppy here, but it looks like the Team Azalea will be able to put out just a little bit more damage, and it looks like the Rampage don't have much that they can do here. Team Azalea are going to be closing out this first map in their favor, putting them at a 1-0 advantage over the Rampage. This is already, without a doubt, probably the closest scrim we've ever seen from the Rampage. They swapped to that dive comp at the end, most likely to get to the point early, but Azalea has such a new level of aggression that we don't see from anyone who isn't the Rampage. This is something that we're very familiar with in regards to what's going on, but at the same time, this is something that is a completely new game for the Rampage. They're looking at Team Azalea, and they're so used to being the aggressors that when they get aggression against them, things are going to be unusual, and there might be a little bit of like a miscommunication, or the team synergy might not be there, because Sark Week is gone today, and he's being subbed out by Venom Man, so we want to see a different team comp, maybe a different play style from Venom Man versus Sark Week's relentlessly aggressive Echo. Venom Man played a little bit more reserved, a little bit more defensive, and that may just be due to not having as much time on that Echo as Sark Week. Sark Week actually has said it himself to me. He said, when you play the Echo, you have to get aggressive, because when you have a health bar that doesn't matter, you can get as aggressive as you want. He says when he swaps into that other ultimate, when he swaps into that other hero, he just holds W, because if he gets eliminated from that role, that's okay, because he can fly right out with his left shift. It's something we've seen him do time and time again, but it's that level of aggression, particularly when he's playing a Sigma or a Reinhardt, really allow him to get a lot of free ultimates and a lot of nice plays that he wouldn't get otherwise on that actual tank role, because he's basically got 500 health to burn through for free. Sarang definitely putting up a fight against Venom Man and Mui. That Tracer in particular really getting into the back line and eliminating what needed eliminated. And while Astronomical, no insult to him here, it is easier to get these picks on Doomfist than the Tracer. So while he may have been playing well and really getting kills when they were necessary, you know, nobody gets too hype over a Doomfist just because he's considered a rather broken character. But Astronomical definitely demonstrated a lot of tech for us there, and the coordination between him and the Zarya on his team to get that Space Jam was just fantastic, because you don't really see that. You didn't see that when Doomfist came out. It was such a difficult thing to pull off, so to see that all this time later is absolutely incredible, without a doubt. Taijidu and Malorad versus Lil Fryer and Dantek. I definitely think it's been a very close fight. They've all been very neck and neck. Dantek definitely getting picked a lot more than the rest of them at the beginning of fights or mid-fight, and him and Taijidu both seem to be a little bit sloppy with their placements and with their locations, but that is okay because a lot of the time the team was able to turn it around even if that healer was out of place. Possibly just playing that Moira encourages people to get more aggressive because the damage orb is on such a short cooldown. Coalescence is on what seems like such a short cooldown, so it seems very easy for them to be able to get kills and kind of get what they're looking for in terms of like value. So Derby and Andromedus, we definitely saw a lot of weird things. We saw the Winston D.Va at one point, I believe. We saw the Rein Zarya, which we know is their most comfortable area, or at least it appears to me that way, that seems to be their most comfortable. But with Guillotine and Kill Switch on such a powerful Winston D.Va, like, they were just on a roll. They ate that Graviton Surge in the first map. They were just not letting them get any value. There was no space. The entire point of playing that dive comp like they did is to eliminate one hero on the other team as fast as possible and kind of flip the fight in your favor, and they did that every single time without a doubt. The Primal Rage only coming out when he knew he needed it. He didn't press Q because he thought that he needed it. He pressed Q because he knew he needed it. Kill Switch got the E, always using that defense matrix in really fantastic times, keeping Guillotine alive. I'm really excited to see what all these teams are going to bring and offer us here on Dorado. Things are really going to look good. Team Azalea is going to be on attack first. This map is Dorado. This is a payload map, and they will have to try to get it to the end of the map as fast as possible while doing what they can to stop the enemy team at the same time. The Rampage here are going to stop the Team Azalea from getting this payload very far, and Azalea is going to constantly kill the Rampage in an attempt to get the payload as far as they can. Just a reminder that Team Azalea is up 1-0 in the series over the Rampage. And with 5 minutes on the clock, we may be waiting a little while for this map to start. There may be a possible break in here. Mui already a little bit in a weird position, and I like to see it because if he dives down into the back line onto a support, especially if there's an Ana caught out, Ana has no mobility, and a single missed sleep dart would spell disaster for him. The Rampage playing a little bit more spread out. I know the gates aren't quite opened yet, but at this very moment, they are very, very spread out. That's not something we see from them often. We also see them running the Winston D.Va defense, which we know is not exactly their strongest suit, but in a scrim, I guess this is the best time to practice this. They've got the dive comp other than a Lucio, which does make sense, but they should almost have the Lucio, because while Team Azalea doesn't have to speed boost into fights, the Rampage might have to speed boost to get back to the point in time. So staying on that Brig Ana is definitely going to be an unusual pick. Malorad on the Lucio may have benefited them better here, but we'll have to see it to believe it. We'll have to see what this Brig does for the team. Dorpy and Andromedus are going to hold up on the high ground above, with Venomman and Mui on the other high ground. They're going to be pincered. It looks like Malorad being in that back line, he's not going to be able to get a lot of value as he needs to be doing damage to get out a lot of healing other than a couple of armor packs. Venomman trying and struggling to get on that rooftop. He finally lands it. So the DPS on one rooftop, the tanks on the other. I believe their idea here is they're going to drop down onto the enemy team, onto Team Azalea, and pincer them, kind of catch them out in a bad position. Astronomical on the Genji. I'm quite excited to see some Nano Blades today. It's been making a comeback recently. It was really kind of taboo to be playing Genji in the meta for so long, but it looks like he may be making a comeback already. He uses the dash to get in. Guillotine falling very, very low. The fight has officially begun with the purple coming out. The Rampage are not there to clean up the kill or confirm what they need to confirm here. Guillotine getting a lot of value, as is Astronomical, out of this fight. Well, the fight is not over yet. It's getting them a lot of ult charges. Nobody's dying, but they're all dealing damage. They're going to get a lot of ult charge here. Andromeda's trying to play this, Kill Ground and Andromeda's Kill Switch, and Andromeda's trying to play this high ground. Things looking really good here for Sarang, as well as he's just kind of walking the cart with his supports. Derpy jumps into the back line, but he's not aware Sarang is already there. Sarang looks for that kill, but a whip shot from Malorad may have kept Derpy alive. 61% to a pulse bomb, playing that back line. It's going to be very easy for Sarang to find this confirmation kill, or this kill confirmation here, excuse me. Kill Switch has that damage boost from Lil Fryer as well, so he's going to be doing a lot more damage than Derpy in these fights. That is shown through this ult charge. Andromeda's having more charge than Kill Switch, but Guillotine almost double what Derpy has. The Nano will be coming out very soon, as will the Blade. I would expect to see a Nano Blade here. Dantec putting a lot of pressure on the Venoman, making him drop to less than, 100 health. The dash on Taijitu looking very good, as the Nano Blade is most likely going to get pulled any second, but with the Primal Rage coming out and Astronomical falling, we will not see it quite yet. Low Fryer pops that Valkyrie as well, giving Kill Switch and Guillotine all the healing they need to get a lot more aggressive. The D.Va Winston are going to find a lot of good value here. The res does come through on Astronomical. The Genji is alive, but the Ana falls just in time. The Pulse Bomb finally connects, popping the Primal Rage to not take any damage from that. Trying to get Low Fryer out, but he will Guardian Angel back to his team. Derpy gets the Nano Boost. He will be able to do a lot of damage here with it if he can confirm any kills whatsoever. He puts a lot of pressure onto the Mercy. The Mercy will fall with 2 minutes left on the clock. The Team Azalea has really just been walking this cart very far as the Rampage are trying to get kills, but they're slowly dying off one by one. The fight took a very long time to end. Team Azalea just barely takes it into the final point, into the first point, and they have 4.5 minutes to get it to the second point. This is going to force the Rampage to back up very quickly as Derpy died right before they capped, so he's really out of the fight. GG goes for the kill onto the Echo, but will not be able to find it. The Resurrection does come through from Sarang. It's looking very good as they're back to a full 6 on the cart, and the Rampage are still waiting for Derpy to return. There he is. Derpy jumps in on his own with 3 already up there. It's not going to look good as he's now pressured against him and Andromedus against 3. They're going to take a lot of damage here, even with the bubble. Even if they walk back, the other team's just going to follow them. They've got the safety and numbers here. Losing 1, it's still a 2v2. Another Primal Rage is almost out from Guillotine. Guillotine and Derpy is already halfway to another one. The Primal's really being farmed here. Killswitch sends the ult, but does not get anything. Malorad pops that rally in the very back line. Oh, most likely to prevent this Genji, but it's not going to be enough. Malorad may survive, but the rest of his team will not. He gets the whip shot onto GG team, but it's not going to get the kill confirmation I think he was looking for. Venoman, not Sarkweek, on the Winston in the front, on the transformation, but it's not going to get a lot of value out of that. He uses the ult, creates a little bit of space, but it's not going to be quite what he's looking for. He's picked out of the air by Killswitch. Maybe the Echo needs to be swapped off here as she is a good hero, but Guillotine and Killswitch are just putting so much relentless pressure on this Echo. Even Dantec is when he has the opportunity to fire at the enemy team. Echo is just the main focus of this team without a doubt, and it's forcing them into a very early 5v6 against Team Azalea every single time. Guillotine taking a nap, sleeping on the job. The Rampage push in, but they're still out in numbers as Venoman is just now returning from spawn. Derpy falls almost instantaneously. The bomb's going to come out from Andromedus, but this has to be a big bomb to keep this point alive. He does pick up Dantec, but I really don't think that's going to be enough, especially if this Resurrection does come through, which it will. Now that bomb was almost for naught. They do cap the second point, even though the Rampage were finally beginning to turn that around. Nobody was on the point. A little bit of a technical back cap, a technical C9 there, but they were just trying to confirm the kills. The Winston just happened to dive in. They couldn't really do much to stop it. Not exactly their fault, just a great leap in from Guillotine. The car is moving into the third and final point with 4 minutes. This is a very large time bank to see from a team here. In particular, this late into the map, 4 minutes on the third and between the second and third point is going to be very, very good for them. But this point is famous. This point is infamous for being very difficult to finally cap, even with 4 minutes on the clock. This is a 0.2, 0.5 situation, if you know what I mean. It's going to be very difficult. Many, many teams get stopped here. We've seen tournament runs end here for many, many teams. The Primal Rage is it's forced out from the enemy team onto Derpy. He's got the Ana caught in the corner, but he has to confirm this kill, or the Primal Rage was for naught. He does not confirm the kill as the Mercy Pocket is there. He drops to less than half of his health. He's going to have to get out of there or things are going to get messy. He does end up confirming a kill on Low Fryer, which is very good for the Rampage. Just losing that Mercy is going to be very difficult for Azalea as the Resurrection now cannot come through. They're going to lose their Winston as well. The Rampage are finally going to flip this what feels like the first fight of this map in their favor for the first time in a long time. 3 ultimates, almost 4 from Team Azalea, with 2 ultimates, almost 4 from Team Rampage as well. The bomb is now live. Oh, excuse me, no, that was the mech. Andromedus was out of mech, but he's still rather close to that ultimate. Mubi looking to get a pulse bomb. If he can find an early one here and just reset the fight, that'll buy them at least 20 seconds. But with Guillotine pushing in onto Mubi, it's going to get sloppy. He's going to have to get out of there. Venoman's close behind him, though, so it's a little easier to survive. He's going to take a little bit less damage. But if Venoman's caught out here, which it's really starting to look like he will, the pulse bomb is thrown. It hits none. It's stuck in the bubble. No, excuse me. It's eaten by Killswitch. Another fantastic ultimate eat from Killswitch. He's holding onto that DM. He reads these ultimates. Here comes the bomb as well with the blade and the nano. They're using a lot of ultimates here. Killswitch does pick up 2. Astronomical cleaning up a 3rd. Mubi gets the kill on Killswitch, but it's not going to be what they need. They're already down 3. Excuse me, they're down 2 at this point. Astronomical and Dantec using their ultimates as well as Killswitch. Killswitch giving his life to get that double. 2 minutes left on the clock. All Azalea has to do now is just keep holding W, keep getting these kills as the Rampage will slowly pour out one by one and get eliminated. Feeding these ultimates. GG18 has that Rampage. He installed this for a very long time. But the Rampage are going to have to get forward here. They're going to have to get aggressive as Azalea is just walking it in. No, Andromeda is able to send out a bomb. It's going to have to be a big one. What do we get? We get one pick on Dante again. Dantec, excuse me. Again, Venom Man getting very aggressive in the face of Sarang, taking him out of the fight, completely eliminating that high noon as well. He's got the bomb. He's going to full send it down the alley. It's going to have to be big again. It does pick up Astronomical. The fight finally flipped in the side of the Rampage, but they're going to have to look for a back cap here. Malorad is hugging that car, as is Tajitu. They learned after that second point cap, they've really got to be careful as that Winston likes to get these back caps when they're getting a little too aggressive. The high noon from Azalea, the nano boost from Rampage, as well as the pulse bomb. Things are really going to get sloppy here for both teams. They're going to have to focus up, push as a team, and right now the Rampage, again, very spread out. We don't see this from them often. They're fighting in like groups of 2 or groups of 3 when they really need to be back in that group of 6, something we know they're very comfortable with. They're very confident in doing this. The nano boost does come through on a Derpy. His primal rage is ready as well. He's going to put a lot of pressure on a Sarang. Sarang is going to fall. It was a very easy pick for him with that nano boost. He's doing lots of damage. He gets slept on the job, taking a nap, but is immediately woken up. That alarm clock does not care if he wants to sleep. He needs to pop this primal rage as he's going to go down. No, he's got a lot of faith in his healers. He confirms another kill onto GG Team. Literally less than 100 health, less than 75 health at one point. Just a couple of bullets from death, but he really had faith in Tajitu there. He knew Tai was going to keep him up. He knew Tai was going to help him feed that front line. But with Venom Man falling, Azalea is going to have to regroup, and the Winston's going to have to come back because this is their window to push. This is their opportunity to get in and get aggressive against the Rampage. But we caught out here, but it looks like he's going to have the blinks and the recall to keep him alive. He's now stuck in the back line and will most likely be dove on and caught out. Derpy's going to have to pop the primal again. It's kind of forced out, kind of planned. He's throwing them further into his team, trying to catch the D.Va out, but all she has to do is boost her back to be on top of her team. He's getting a lot of damage, but he's not getting the kill confirmation we need. Sarang did chase down Mui and confirm the headshot on him. The Winston falls. The Rampage are slowly but surely turning this fight back in their favor. They are still down one, but they've got a larger point presence. The Nano Blade will come through now. They don't have the ultimates to handle it. He picks up both supports. This could be the end of the line. He gets half of the team eliminated with a single blade. This is looking like it's going to be the end of the line. It is finally into overtime. The Rampage with a 4-minute hold, win or lose on this map. That is a very impressive defense, especially playing a Winston D.Va. Something we all know that I'm not a very big fan of. The Primal Rage just come out from GG Team. Things are not looking great here for the Rampage, but Azalea might have this in the bag. The bomb finally coming out from Killswitch. Picks up zeros. The high noon comes out as well. So does the rally. They're just pressing Q at this point, trying to eliminate as many people on the side of the Rampage as possible. The nano boost comes through onto Malorad. Most likely a misfire. Derpy confirming the kill. Killswitch with another pulse bomb eat from Mui. Absolutely incredible. Killswitch is relentless. The bomb's going to have to be big. The third solo bomb on Dante. Wait! That was a C9. I believe that was a C9. I believe they left the point, or they were booped off by Malorad just long enough to not be able to force that timer to tick down, so they do only confirm 2 points on the map. They only reach 82.75 meters there. The Rampage, it's doable now. And even in the overtime, the Rampage can do this. We've seen an insane performance from them before, and I would not be surprised if we saw it again. The double shield coming out from Azalea. This is something that I'm much more familiar with and something that I expect to see on a map like this one. This is something that is quite common on this map, holding that double shield, most likely holding that high ground. But the Genji, most likely looking to get those nano blades, doesn't really fit into this comp. No, he will swap to a Torbjorn. Bite my tongue. I should, again, never talk about the teams here until the gates open. But the Torbjorn pick's going to put a lot of pressure on Venom Man. That might be the final straw on the camel's back here to force Venom Man to swap off. If he can fly or not, the turret does not care. That auto-aim is relentless. I personally don't think auto-aim has any place in a competitive first-person shooter like this one, but I'm unfortunately not a Blizzard developer, so we all know how that goes. The Rampage most likely going to run this same comp. This is something we know they're familiar with. This is something we know they love doing. It's something that they will do time and time again. But that's all right because we've seen how this goes before. We've seen what they can do. And we've seen that when they get the room, when they get the space to play a comp like this, they're relentless. They're unmatched in their level of aggression and communication. But we've seen the communication being a little bit off today, and I do partly give that to Sarkweek being missing and Venom Man having to be a ringer here, having to sub in for Sarkweek. As somebody else playing an Echo, playing a different Echo playstyle entirely is going to force the Rampage to maybe not be as aggressive as Venom Man. We've seen plays a much more defensive ultimate style, much more defensive Echo style as a whole. The gates will finally open as predicted. The Rampage are not going to be swapping any of these heroes. But with the turret, that has to be Derpy and Andromedas's first focus, or Venom Man is going to get eliminated every single fight. Andromedas already dropping to almost half health, 10% to that already. The turret in a very poor position, immediately eliminated by Andromedas. But another one, I'm sure, coming out from Astronomical very soon. The eat from Andromedas out of the pool, very, very smart. Helps eliminate headshots, get headshots out of the way. Playing that high ground is going to make Derpy get very little value here. He's going to have to jump up, get the leap, possibly, just to get some ult charge, because he can't do any damage that high up. As predicted, there's the leap. He dives in, gets 20% of his ult just like that. Snap of your fingers, there it is. But Astronomical already almost halfway to that Molten Core. The Torbjorn out of line here, but Derpy screws up the leap, can't get into his face in time. He's going to make it out back behind his team. The Dynamite coming out from Sarang. A lot of Ashe gameplay recently, and I love it. She's one of my favorite heroes, even though her ultimate is definitely overpowered. She's still a lot of fun to play and a lot of fun to watch others play. The Discord Orb onto Mallory. He's going to have to play a little bit defensively, hide out of that line of sight for 3 seconds, get that orb off of him. The pull comes through on Andromeda, as does the Rock, but that's not going to be what they need. They need to do that on a squishy if they want to get any value out of it. Sarang in the back line. He knows that Venomman's here. He's going to put the pressure down. Who wins this 1v1? It's going to get sloppy, but it's going to be Sarang over Venomman. Venomman almost confirms the kill, but I believe Low Fryer was healing Sarang through that fight, keeping him alive. Venomman not being healed so far away. The ult advantage on the side of the Rampage, but this is a difficult nut to crack here. They're going to have to eliminate Azalea entirely to win this fight. Andromeda, I believe, did not go down, is still hiding in that back line with Taijidu as well. The Nano Boost and the Pulse Bomb are both ready. The Transformation almost ready as well, most likely swapping onto that Sigma, but may swap onto the Ashe is something that's also rather common due to how quickly her ultimate charges. And 2 Bobs or 1 extra Bob in a fight could really make or break a fight for either team here. Sarang's going to have that Bob very soon. The Molten Core and the Gravitic Flux coming out as well. The Bongo, but not far to follow. It looks like that Azalea... Oh, no, the Pulse Bomb onto Sarang takes Bob out of the fight entirely. They're going to be able to get aggressive here. The Molten Core finally coming out, but Dantek's been caught out by Derpy. He's going to fall. There's no way he uses Transcendence to keep himself alive. There's so many of his teammates already falling. Astronomical gets a very easy kill onto Andromeda there, as he really had nowhere to go. GG committing this fight, dropping the Bongo and the shield in the corner, but it's not going to be worth it. Less than 2 minutes on the clock. The Rampage are finally going to get through that crack into the first point. 2 ultimates from the Rampage were used there. They still have 2 left. The Molten Core used, but Bob is ready, the Window is ready, and the Transcendence is ready as well. Venomman getting a little too aggressive against a hit scan there, making it very easy for the hit scan to confirm the kill. The Coach Gun, very intelligent from Sarang, as Derpy could no longer land up there and kept himself into the air much longer to take a lot of extra damage. Taijidu taking damage here as well. Derpy's going to go for the leap back up, but they know he's there, and they're going to headshot him time and time again. The Window's finally live. Maybe Derpy will go to the high ground and look to get some boops here. It looks like I called that immediately before it happened. He knocks GG out of place, but nobody's really there to confirm the kills. He misses the second leap back up, forcing the Transcendence from Dantek. All of the ultimates being used from Azalea here. They're trying to end this right here, right now. Even though they have 3.5 minutes left on the clock, they're getting a little trigger happy with their ultimates. Sarang cleaning up 2 kills, but now the ult economy is completely in the favor of the Rampage here, as the Azalea used every ultimate they had. Getting a lot of free damage here as people are just walking out of spawn. Almost took Venomman out of the fight before he was even back in it. Sarang already almost halfway to that Bob. He used his Bob, but he's going to make up for it very quickly here. Getting back on the high ground. No, the Coach Gun missed as well. Wow, nobody's really making that jump today, huh? Very unfortunate. The rally coming out from Malorad, I'd argue just a little bit too early, is even though it's got that little bit of preemptive healing, it's not what he should be looking for. The swap from Venomman onto the Orisa as predicted, looking for that extra supercharger. Oh, a bomb from Andromeda picks up a lot, but a bigger nade from Taijidu got a lot of damage there. The supercharger coming out. Venomman relentless, getting a quintuple kill. Very nicely done from the aim there and the team cleanup. That's the coordination I think we've been missing from the Rampage today. That's the coordination we're so used to seeing. We've seen them run that time and time again, but there it was. There was the coordination we see every week, and like I said, it's been a little bit sloppier this week, but I'm sure they're aware of that. I'm sure they're constantly discussing how to make changes and get a little more aggressive. But a 99% chance that Team Azalea is not going to let this cart go. They're going to push forward, especially with Venomman getting picked again by Sarang. You've got to ask, when are you going to swap off that Echo? Because I don't think it's working like they hope it is. Taijidu just bullies Sarang out of the fight. A big purple coming from Tai as well onto these 2. The Sigma from Killswitch here, the Sigma from Azalea being caught out on his own. He's still alive, but it's got to be low. Astronomical hitting what is most likely just a complete lucky headshot on the movie, unless he's a very talented Torbjorn. It's very difficult to hit those headshots. The Rampage flipped that fight very quickly, and while they don't have the 4-minute time bank that Team Azalea had, they've got 3.5 minutes, which is still incredibly impressive. GG with the Bongo. The Gravitic Flux is ready from Killswitch as well. Bob, another one, is ready, as is the Molten Core. So we've got 4 ultimates coming online here from Team Azalea, with only, I'd say, almost 3 coming from the Rampage. But the Rampage don't have any online quite yet. Derpy is 2% away, so he's going to passively charge that in about 2 seconds. He's going to get that 100%. Here it is. It's live. Venomman hiding in that back line, but the Zenyatta knows he's there. He's going to have to drop. He's going to help eliminate this turret, get it out of the fight. The Gravitic Flux comes out very early, like I said, and it's going to confirm a kill onto Malorad and the D-Mech onto Andromedas. The Rampage are going to have to give up this fight. There's no way they can get forward here. Astronomical playing arguably one of the most aggressive Torbjorns I've seen in a really, really long time. Movie 60% of that pulse bomb kind of stuck in the back line here. Hopefully nobody sees him, because if they do, he's going to get caught out here. And getting caught out with only 2.5 minutes left on the clock would really not look good for him. Be a 20-second stagger for his team if he gets caught out now. He's still playing very far forward for all his team coming out of spawn. Again, a very, very early... I think Malorad thought they were going to be holding up a little bit closer because that rally was just too early to get a lot of value. The nano boost onto Derpy. Sarang falling very early. He's going to put pressure onto the Baptiste as well. The immortality field finally comes out, but it's going to be eliminated very quickly. We're going to see the elimination onto the Baptiste most likely. Derpy's going to have to pop the ultimate. He does pop the Primal Rage. He's going to knock the Sigma over the wall, making him essentially useless completely out of the fight. We do hear the the Molten Core come off from Astronomical as well. The Bob and the Transcendence. No, Transcendence has been forced as well with Kill Switch falling less than 50 health, 50% health. And Derpy does pick up that kill on Killswitch. The Rampage getting relentless here. Bob is coming out. Bob is up and ready. He's firing. GGT is swapping onto the Reinhardt. He's going to need that shield and that hammer to get a lot more damage here. More ultimates coming. The first successful pulse bomb, I think, onto the immortality field we've seen from Movie. It hasn't been eaten by Killswitch, because Killswitch is back onto that Wrecking Ball. The Rampage cleaning up one by one by one. It looks like they're going to be able to win this fight very early on. The swap on the Baptiste from Venom Man. Very unusual swap, but one that I absolutely respect as an extra immortality field could really save your entire team. The Rampage, I believe, are going to crack it open here. They're 2 meters off of getting the technical win for this map. Keep in mind, it may say 3 at the top of the map, but Team Azalea did only cap 2 points. They were so close, but did not quite make it. Tajidu falling, not looking good here. Is a huge spawn advantage for Team Azalea. A big bomb coming out. It picks up 2. Absolutely massive bomb from Andromeda. He eliminates one of the supports and a damage hero here. It's making it a very easy, winnable fight for the Rampages. They're very up in numbers, but with a huge spawn advantage for Team Azalea, they can keep filing in one by one. No, it seems that they're less than 0.50 meters from the technical win. Another rally coming off from Malorad. This one very well timed. There it is. They did get the technical win, but they are going to try to push this into the third and final position. And it looks like it's going to be very doable. Movie with another pulse bomb. The Rampage are able to cap the point, making this a clean 1-1 fight. Both teams having won a single map. This, again, I've said it 100 times already. I'll say it 100 more. This is probably the closest fight we've seen between these teams. We're moving immediately into our next map, being Numbani. The Rampage on the defense running, again, that defensive dive, but they've got the double sniper comp this time. Possibly playing a little bit further back. We know Venom Man's definitely going to be more comfortable on that Hanzo than the Echo. And Astronomical on the far, I'm sure he's going to be regretting that very soon, unless he's got one hell of a Mercy behind him. They're going to flank around. G-Guillotine and Killswitch looking to dive on someone, waiting for the call out from G-Guillotine. Who to kill here, who to dive onto. But with a dive comp coming from the defense as well, it's going to be difficult for anybody to really confirm some kills. Sarang already in the back line. He's looking for a very early kill onto one of the supports. Venom Man taking out of the fight, as is Low Fryer. That's much worse for the attacking team to lose a support, losing a damage as well, and both their supports. They're out of here. They're going to have to get off the point. The Pharah is on the point, and Derpy's just going to hold that Tesla cannon onto Coil, make those muscles twitch with that electricity, and the Pharah's going to fall. Andromedas picks up the kill on G-Guillotine. Killswitch takes out Mui. Things looking good here for the Rampage. They've lost, I believe, 2 fighters, and they're going to lose the mech. Killswitch is here. Oh, Malorad with a fantastically timed shield bash to prevent Killswitch from getting that Mega. He's now out of mech, and he's going to have to get aggressive here. The Baby Diva, we've seen some Baby Diva frags before, and I expect to see some again with 2 online. Venom Man already back down to half health, and the Rampage, again, very spread out here. We don't see the Winston Diva together. Venom Man in the street on his own. He jumps down to the high ground. G-Guillotine in the back line, most likely looking to dive onto Tajidu, the easiest target here. Possibly Mui as well, because without that grapple, Mui's just a fish out of water. Malorad boops G-Guillotine and stays for the fight. The 1v1, which would be very difficult to win. Sarang's there now as well. Sing a song for Malorad. He will fall. The purple coming out from Tajidu just a second too late. Might have kept Malorad alive just a little bit longer. But Derpy's going to have to pop that Primal Rage as soon as he gets it to keep his team alive. Putting pressure onto this Brig. The Brig will fall. Astronomical picks up Tajidu, but Tajidu picks up Astronomical as well. It's a trade. A trade for an ultimate just from a couple of clicks. That's something that the Rampage are definitely stoked to see, even if Tajidu did fall. That's the exact kind of trade they're looking for, is an entire ultimate. It was wasted just to kill Tajidu, and Tajidu still got the kill. Derpy taking a lot of unnecessary damage here from this team. Not necessarily unnecessary, but taking a lot of damage as the team focuses down his Primal Rage, but getting rid of 1,000 health quickly without a Discord Orb is very difficult. He jumps into the air, but it's basically a desperate attempt to stay alive, because this team will clean him up. With less than 2 minutes on the clock, this may be the opportunity where Team Azalea gets the cap. The Rampage look like they're going to be giving it up. They're going to try to hold close here. Keep all 6 of their teammates alive. Mui already taking damage from Astronomical. Mui may consider swapping out of that McCree to put just a little bit more pressure onto Astronomical, as he's not getting the space to get those full charge shots. Low Fryer hangs out back on the cart. G-Guillotine diving in very quickly with Killswitch here, but Derpy's there to give him a challenge as well. A lot of supports in this room, and it looks like G-Guillotine will make it out alive. I'm kind of confused how he took so much damage there, but he must have, like I said, a good pocket Dantec pops that Valkyrie in a very unusual time, not necessarily bad. A bomb is coming out from Killswitch. Derpy gets it with the bubble, tries to play the hero, but it eliminates half the team. He misses the bubble, the bomb falls out just a little bit too late, and he gets triple kill. Really not looking good now for the Rampage. Andromeda's with the tactical reset. The Rampage are going to have to move back. Mui swaps out of that Ashe. I was close. I did say the McCree. The Rampage, the Barrage, the Pulse, all ready from Team Azalea with the Bomb and the Dragons and the Rally ready from the Rampage. We've got a 3v3, all different ultimates. We've got 6 different ultimates ready to come online. With no Graviton Surge, Venoman's definitely going to struggle to find the value he's looking for on these kills. To get these kills, Derpy dives in to save Mui. GG team taking damage, but the Mercy pocket is incredible. You don't see a lot of Mercy play recently, but she's really in a good spot to be played with a dive comp, in my opinion. GG team just juggling, no kills, but lots of damage. Mui finding Sarang in the madness. Venoman finding Lil Fryer as well. Nobody was on the cart the entire time. The Rampage are going to have to touch because they're getting a lot of free value here. The Dragons onto the cart is going to be a big pick here. Puts a lot of pressure down. GG team less than 100 health, but Dantec will not let him fall. Dantec gets the resurrection and gets back to his tank just in time. The bomb comes out from Andromeda. It's going to have to be a big one. Yes, it does pick up Dantec. Dantec finally falling. The Rally coming out from Lil Fryer to make up for the healing that's no longer there from the Mercy. The Pulse Bomb coming from Sarang gets 0 kills. Malarat falling, but GG team falling as well. The Nano Boost coming out of Derpy. It looks like a bit of a miscommunication, as I know the Rampage don't like to Nano an ulting Winston, so it was most likely just a miscommunication, possibly a Nano to keep him alive, but he primaled to keep himself alive. He still picks up the kill on Lil Fryer, so it's going to be okay. Malarat has that Rally, but all the ultimates were used on the side of the Rampage. Well, Team Azalea still has both their Mercy ult and their Barrage. They've got the Barrage and the Valk. So a lot of value could come from that for Astronomical if he can get the flank, which it looks like he's looking for right now. It's going to be difficult to do, especially with the Winston bubble, because the Winston bubble will get a lot of damage, and if Andromedas can eat the ultimate and eat a lot of it, it's going to be completely useless. And Astronomical will have done this entire flank and put himself out of position for nothing. We did see the missiles come off from Andromedas. He knows that he's there. It looks like he's going to be looking for the ultimate. He pops it. He does confirm a single kill, but Andromedas, as predicted, eats, I'd say, about 60 to 70% of that ultimate. Mui falls, but Bob is alive and shooting. He's putting a lot of pressure down. He's confirming very few kills, and actually no kills at all, but did an insane amount of damage. Enough damage for the Rampage to flip what should have been a lost fight. More Dragons coming from Venoman. Gets a double. Takes out both the Mercy and the Tracer. Venoman now just trying desperately to stay alive against GG team. GG team gets in his face, but Venoman says not today. The DMAC comes through on a Killswitch, but Killswitch is just going to be staggered to death, and he knows it. Venoman watches as Malaret takes on the 1v1 against Killswitch. Killswitch trying to farm that mech so low in the critical health, but they're just not going to let him die. He gets the mecha back, but at what cost? Malarat finally takes him out of the fight. A stagger always being entertaining to me. You love to see them. They're hysterical. 3 ultimates. Killswitch has the ultimate as well. I don't know why we saw the getting back in his mech animation. That was unusual. Andromeda's 10% off that bomb. Taijidu has the ultimate as well. The Nano Boost is ready to come through. I think the Nano Boost over the Mercy is why the Rampage have been able to keep this point alive, keep this stall for 4 minutes nearly. Malarat goes off very early. A bomb from Killswitch picks up 0. The Nano Boost onto Derpy. We see it time and time again. The Primal Rage takes out Mui from Guillotine. He's just juggling at this point, trying to get some damage in. The bomb coming from Andromedas. Make it a big one, Andro. Let's see it. Andromedas picks up 0. You hate to see it. He's on the cart. He's going to lose this mech very quickly as the rest of his team is not there to keep him alive. He's going to have to try to get out of this fight, but will be picked very, very early. With 10 seconds left on the clock, this may be the win of the Overwatch factor kicking in. Team Azalea finally able to put this map in their own favor here. Flip this map for them. With 1.5 minutes left on the clock and one of the hardest points to cap in the game. I feel like I say that so often because it's always point 3 with an insane defender's spawn advantage that it's going to be really hard for the attacking team to get any value here or get this cart very far at all. Very often we don't see teams make it to the end of this road, rather get stuck on one of these 2 corners we're looking at right now. Derpy has the Primal Rage and will most likely get aggressive with it any second here. The Rally coming out from Lil Fryer, but Derpy is still going to choose to get onto that cart. He's booped back by Lil Fryer as well, but he didn't go back far enough to be damaged here. The Rally gets a little bit of value, but it was kind of popped early enough to where the value wasn't needed. The Rally wasn't needed. The Rampage kind of let it just tick out, tick down, and then they're going to get aggressive. A fall very quickly. Both sides down in DPS. Lil Fryer gets 30% of that ultimate. The Valk is now out, as is the Bob, but Sarang in the backline just ripping them up. Andromedas finds Lil Fryer. Andromedas is getting aggressive again. He's on the cart on his own. It's a Winston D.Va versus Winston D.Va. But the Mercy and the Tracer here for Azalea is going to make it very difficult for the Rampage to win. They can stall, but they're not going to live forever unless their supports get back into that front line. Missing the whip shot may have been crucial here, as that's the only thing keeping his teammates alive. GG team gets a little too cocky, gets slept in the back line, and then stunned, but he is going to be able to make it out. Drops to less than almost half his health. Derpy getting a double kill while GGT was too busy jumping around in the back line. Killswitch finds a single pick onto Andromeda. Derpy leaps in, but is whip shot back by Lil Fryer. Lil Fryer trying to win this 1v1, but he's not going to find the kill he's looking for. Derpy drops very low, but he has faith in those supports. We've seen it before. We'll see it again. He's going to put pressure. The overtime is finally ticking in. The Winston from Azalea, the only one left on point. The D.Va diving in now as well, but the no ultimate is just going to get her demeched very quickly. They go for the ult. They go for the resurrection. The resurrection does come through onto the Winston. The bomb coming off. Andromeda picks up the Mercy. You're looking really good here. They're down to support. Now all the tanks have to do is get rid of these players. But the tanks are going to have to hold on to the cart for as long as possible. The Lucio is back. They now have one more support. But Venomman takes out GGT with no res. Derpy kills Lil Fryer as well. It's really not looking for Team Azalea here. Derpy finally falling, but the Rampage have such a big spawn advantage and hero advantage right now that all they have to do is clean up who's there and who's not there. The Tracer bouncing around. The Tracer will be eliminated, and the Rampage are able to stall Team Azalea with 50.45 meters on the cart. The Rampage, we just saw him do it on Dorado. I'm sure they can do it again on Numbani. An absolutely amazing defense from the Rampage. They got, to be honest, a little bit rolled on that first part. As soon as Team Azalea got coordinated, the Rampage lost a player. Things got a little bit messy, but the Rampage on that defense, something clicked. A gear clicked, possibly because they're not playing that Echo or Mui swapping onto that Ashe. Just put so much relentless pressure onto the enemy team. They couldn't find the value with the heroes they were looking for. The Rampage now on the attack. Running the dive comp makes a little bit more sense. Mui on that Tracer, yes, that makes sense. We've seen him before. Venom Man back onto the Echo. We are in a scrim, so I'm not going to say too much about him not being able to play the hero yet, but because this is the time to practice. We know that he hasn't played the hero much, but this is the time for him to learn. Astronomical on that defensive Torbjorn. You ask, should he play that? Because it didn't work last time on Dorado. They still ended up losing that map. The Molten Core is not quite getting the value he needed them to be getting. Oh, I'm a little stuck in this door here. There we go. Okay. So we're running a dive, almost a mirror again, with different supports and a different support and a different damage. So it's basically a 4 out of 6 mirror match here. Astronomical most likely getting a little bit more value than Venom Man. While Venom Man plays well, the turret on him constantly is just going to be very difficult for him to get value that I think he's looking for. Lil Fryer on that Brig and Malorad on that Brig. I definitely think Malorad was playing a little bit better in terms of getting aggressive but not dying for kills and healing like Lil Fryer was. We saw Lil Fryer picked up by Derpy probably 3 or 4 times in that last fight when they were on the defense, or when they were on the offense, excuse me. Sarang kills himself very early on, most likely blinked off the map just for the memes, as the timer is still up to 5 minutes, so nobody's really going to be going anywhere anytime soon. No, it was the tactical swap onto the McCree, so Venom Man now going to have twice as difficult a time as I think he was expecting to have. Really not going to look good for him here, as now he's got 3 people, and if the Ana gets aggressive as well, 4 people focusing him, trying to get him out of that sky. Something very interesting is if you look along the bottom of the rosters here, the 4th column indicates how many times a person has died. They've been the first death of a team fight, and nobody has been the first death of a team fight more than once, which is amazing because that shows that there's no weak link on these teams. It's just coordination and communication from one team helped eliminate a player. It wasn't that that player was playing poorly. It's just they happen to be the first one caught out. It's really interesting to see. We see more call-outs from the side of the Team Azalea here over the Rampage. The Rampage having 3 team fight deaths first, and the Azalea having 4. So it's just a little bit better, but it's not quite the difference you'd expect to see from a team that just got all the way to 3rd point, almost a 3rd point. The gates finally opening. They're staying on this dive comp. Running a dive comp on this map without a Lucio is dangerous because you've got to rush right to that point and force the other team to rotate to you. Derpy's going to have to put pressure on this Torbjorn and get that turret out of here, as is Andromeda. But Derpy with the slightest bit more mobility and just health pool will be able to get a little more aggressive in the face of that turret. But if he dives towards it now, it's just going to be a death sentence. Taishidu does find the confirmation out of the turret, but I'm sure another one will come from Astronomical very, very soon. They're diving onto Derpy. He drops to less than half of his health. Things not looking very good here for him, but he's going to have to find some value or get out of there because he's dropping very, very low, less than 100 health at one point. He will finally be picked up by Sarang, but while they were so focused on Mui, his team was able to pick up 2 kills, 3 kills, and the Rampage may have already flipped this point in their favor. The Torbjorn turret putting a lot of pressure onto Andromeda. Sarang finding another kill. Killswitch being caught out by Malorad, but I do believe he'll win this fight or be able to make it out alive. He knocks Andromeda off the high ground. He's looking for the kill, not even the stagger. He's just looking to get the kill, the value he's looking for. But the sleep onto Killswitch helps Killswitch lose his mech, even if Andromeda falls now, which he still hasn't. What is going on? Andromeda should have died so long ago, but no, Killswitch is killed instead. They were so focused on Andromeda that Mui's in the backline just dealing an insane amount of damage onto them. It looks like the Rampage are able to cap this. No, not quite yet. They're going to try to hold on to, but it's going to be impossible. The Rampage kept with 5 minutes on the clock. Really a fantastic start. They a little bit of a roll onto Team Azalea here. Malorad picking up a double onto both supports. Frontlining very difficult. He said, we don't have a Reinhardt. I'll be our Reinhardt. With the rally already online, as well as the pulse bomb and the nano boost. Andromeda's hiding in the backline, gets 1, gets 2. The Baby D.Va double kill, not something you see every day. An absolutely fantastic performance. They were both low health already, but you still love to see it as people don't do that often. 4 ultimates online from the Rampage with only 1, nearly 3 online from Team Azalea here. Malorad hanging out on the back of the car. A pause, most likely a disconnect, possibly from one team. Possibly a little bit of lag reset. Sometimes it's just someone couldn't hold their bladder any longer. You never know what's going on quite like these matches. We're going to have to wait a little bit, but like I said, Malorad definitely got really aggressive in that last fight, and Taijinu must have been keeping him alive because he dropped very low several times but was able to make it out of those fights alive. Sarang has that high noon, but if Andromedas can eat it, it's going to be useless. Mui has that pulse bomb, but a kill switch eats it. It's a very dangerous game. It's the same thing. Both teams have a DPS ult, but if the D.Va eats it, there it goes. It's something you don't see often, but it's something you still see occasionally, especially with the pulse bomb. I mean, we've seen kill switch do it twice already. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it a third time. While Mui may think he's out of range, DM goes a lot further than we think. Defense Matrix goes further than its animation, which I think makes no sense. But again, I'm not a developer at Blizzard. The swap out of the Orisa from GG team, definitely an interesting one as it forces them to get a little more aggressive here. It forces the Rampage to get a little more aggressive. The Nanoboost comes through, as does the Pulse Bomb. Pulse Bomb picks up no kills but gets a lot of damage. The bomb coming out from Kill Switch, it's got to be a big one. Noah confirms 0 kills, but he gets the mech back as well. 2 ultimates online from Team Azalea. Derpy jumping around, just knocking people around, jumping very low. He's going to have to get out of there or he's going to die. Things are going to get sloppy. But he's going to make it out alive, putting on an absolute masterclass of how to play that Winston, how to play that Primal Rage, but no, putting not a masterclass on how to die. Oh, and he does fall. Oh, the Primal Rage takes Venom Man out of his transformation. Excuse me, no, the high noon, but it's not going to be quite what we're looking for here. While Team Azalea may have finally been able to turn this fight around, they're really not looking good. They used every single ultimate they had for a fight that's not even completely won yet. Andromedas has the bomb, but if he chooses to use it now, it's going to have to be big. A lot of his team isn't there, so he's going to have to win this fight basically on his own. But with Venom Man falling, Andromedas is most likely just going to fly to escape, turn around, Defense Matrix, make sure he doesn't get picked out by any rockets. But he gets pulled back by the Orisa. He's still going to be able to make it out. He's got his entire health bar still. The McCree on the high ground already. Andromedas is going to go in to save Derpy, but the D.Va from Team Azalea is going to be there to get just as aggressive. The orb eaten by Andromedas. Andromedas always looking out for those. He's going to have to get the big bomb here. He's got the bomb. It's the only ultimate online from anybody at this moment. But Sarang has almost farmed an entire high noon. Again, here it is. The high noon is online. Kill switch gets the elimination onto Mui. So Andromedas, if he's going to send that bomb, it has to be soon before his team starts losing this fight. No, Venom Man falls as well. Hold on to the bomb at this point. But holding on to it this long, 20 more seconds isn't going to hurt. Taijinu with the nano boost and Sarang with the high noon. It's going to be a very uncomfortable fight as these ultimates are very difficult to play into. If Derpy jumps in with the high noon, that gives Sarang the perfect opportunity. No, with the Primal Rage, with the nano boost, it gives Sarang the perfect opportunity to high noon. And if Andromeda sends in that bomb and Sarang's out of the way, again, another perfect opportunity to the high noon, simply for the fact that the D.Va won't have the defense matrix for a very large window of time. Astronomical on the Torbjorn swap almost has... Here comes the bomb. A lot of people are going to be called out here, it looks. No, just a single kill on Dantek, the 4th solo bomb on the Dantek of the evening. He's got to be getting a little frustrated at this point. The nano boost comes through, most likely onto Derpy, who's up in that top line there. Yeah, he's on the front line. The high noon from Sarang confirms a kill on Taijinu, even though he was critically low health. A very risky play, but it looks like it may have paid off. Astronomical finds the pick on a Derpy, but with... Oh, and Malorad as well. I was going to say it was a lost fight, but with the bomb coming from Kill Switch and the Molten Core coming out as well, they may be able to turn this fight around just a little bit. No, Mui finds a kill on Astronomical with 2 ultimates being used from Team Azalea. It's going to get a little difficult here. If they used every ultimate online that they had, they're going to have to give up the point. A big anti-nade coming from Dantek, but he's caught out of place. Most likely going to be eliminated by Mui here. Yeah, Mui and Andromeda's pincer onto Dantek, taking him out of the fight. And with a very difficult period of time finally out of the way, the Rampage capped this final point. And they are going to force Team Azalea here to move back, as they don't even have to cap all the way to 3rd. They have to get halfway to 3rd point, and they win it. They get the technical win on the map. Venom Man has that transformation again, most likely going to transform into that Orisa, putting pressure onto the turret, but he really needs to get that kill confirm. He gets the kill confirm on the turret. The Orisa falling very low, and as predicted, the transformation onto the Orisa. We see the pull. He's looking to farm this bongo, the supercharger, as fast as possible, but it's going to be difficult with a nano to Orisa staring him down. And a shield coming up in the way. With 5 seconds left, he drops the supercharger, but it's only going to be there for a little bit of time. Mui getting a double kill, a triple kill coming from GG. I forgot to mention with the Rampage, I've already gotten the technical win. The bomb coming out from Andromedus, bada bing, bada boom, picks up 0 kills. Rampage putting themselves in a 2-1 win over Team Azalea here. It only says 2 on the clock and 3 for Azalea, but it just does that so we can play into extra rounds here. Play even though they get the technical win. The high noon comes out from Sarang. Where is it? It's in the back line. He's just looking to zone and looks like, oh, he does not confirm the hit on the Venom, but he gets the damage. Andromedus is going to lose the mech here as there's just too many people in his face. He can't really do much about it. Rui finds Dantek as well, though, which is not great. Sarang looking to kill the Tracer, putting pressure on the Venom Man now as well. Just trying to find a kill. He's getting a little bit sloppy with his aim, trying to just desperately pick someone. He gets the kill onto the Venom Man, which is exactly what we needed to find here, exactly what he was looking for. Halfway to another high noon already with a lot of ultimates coming out. The bomb is ready from Andromedus, but the Molten Core is ready, and the bomb's almost ready from them as well from Team Azalea here. Team Azalea is now in a really good spot to hold this point, as Team Rampage is going to have to get an essential team kill just due to that massive spawn advantage that Team Azalea currently has and will have for the rest of the game. Mui putting a lot of pressure onto this ball. He's farmed that pulse bomb. He drops pretty low. I'm surprised he's not recalling here, but he's got faith in his supports. The supports weren't there, but Andromedus was to eat those shots. My favorite thing about the Rampage supports is I talked about it last time, they look out for each other, but they also won't go out of position to keep somebody else alive, and that's the most important thing to do as a support. Another big, oh no! Venom Man finally gets his revenge on a Sarang, takes him out of the fight. This might be the fight the Rampage needed, but they're going to have to kill these people quickly, because if they don't kill them quickly, they're just going to keep filing in one by one. The rally coming out. The bomb might be bigger. Here we go. We hold it up. No, gets bada bing, bada boom. A big fat goose egg for the bomb as well. A lot of bombs today, not getting the value I think teams are looking for. Derpy just literally in the spawn of Team Azalea, but that might not be where he needed to be, as a lot of his team's being eliminated very quickly. Now he's trying to push them off cart just to walk at this few final meters, but unless he gets a kill here, it's not going to be worth it. Venom Man swapping onto the Doomfist, getting 1 kill, might be more, gets 2 kills already. He's getting very aggressive here. 53%, he's got another one. A Meteor Strike goes back up, comes right back down, does not confirm any kills, but got a lot of damage out of that. 2 ultimates is looking really good, even for the Echo. The D-Mac comes through onto the Diva for Team Azalea here. The Rampage just constantly holding onto this left click, getting very aggressive, trying to do as much damage as they can. Mui with the double cleanup, cleaning up the kills that his team can't quite get with the triple. Mui taking out half the team. The bomb coming up from Andromedus as well as the Zoner. The ball's got nowhere to go. He's stuck. And it looks like the Rampage are going to be able to cap that on the 3rd point, giving them both the technical and literal win over this team, over Team Azalea. So they are now up 2-1 in the series. Temple of Anubis, we're jumping right in. Things looking really good. The dive comp coming from both teams as well, but a Genji over... The Genji over the Echo is the only difference. The attacking Genji, we saw Astronomical do a lot of damage earlier, get some decent blades. GG team screws up the leap a little bit. Gonna have to hide. He sees Derpy. He's gonna have to engage a little bit awkward. They just kind of stared at each other for a second, but they decided to get aggressive. GG team maybe getting a little too aggressive. That bubble's not gonna last forever. No, his team is right there behind him, getting aggressive or not. They're most likely going to attack on a Taijidu on that high ground on his lonesome. If they catch Taijidu out and eliminate a support that early in a fight, it's gonna be a very easy point cap for them. Derpy, full health in the back line. He's going to jump. He's going to try to get damage. If they can eliminate Low Fryer this early on, they're going to prevent the entire stall. But with Mui being taken out as well, things still in the favor of the Rampage unless Derpy falls here, which it looks like he really may. He's going to be... Oh, no, he will be chased down by Sarang into the back line just to confirm that kill, but it was absolutely worth it as Sarang survived, and taking the Winston out flipped that fight immediately in their favor. Even though they were down the Brigitte, they didn't need the Brigitte once they were up by 2. Dantek getting a lot of healing there, and Sarang picking up a lot of the kills. GG taking out Andromedus. Mui on the point, just trying to take as much percent as possible. But with 5, I believe 6 heroes from the enemy team on the point, he's going to last for a whopping 3 seconds. 90% to that pulse bomb. The Rampage are really going to have to put up a fight here to prevent losing this map. With 5.5 minutes on the clock, we've seen the Rampage give some serious defenses before, but Temple of Anubis, also known as the Temple of Snowball, is very difficult to full hold on this map, because if the enemy team gets aggressive enough, if they get the 1 pick they need early and just hold W, the Nano Blade coming out very early in the fight, and they don't have any ultimates to really prevent it. Mui takes out Dantek, but the Taijidu falls as well. Mui takes out Low Fryer. Both supports fall. Not exactly a great blade from Astronomical there. He's really going to have to make up for that, as Sarang is just cleaning up what he couldn't. Astronomical less than half health here, but nobody's really there to put the pressure on him as Derpy's distracted by Guillotine. Astronomical drops. Finally, Derpy gets the kill onto him. That Nano Blade, honestly, not the best thing that they want to see. Oh, I do realize now that I have scored the game incorrectly. The Rampage are currently up 2-1 over Team Azalea. Team Azalea is not up over 2-1 over the Rampage. I will fix that very soon. 4 ultimates on the side, nearly 5 from the Rampage, with 2, nearly 4 coming from Team Azalea here. The attack dive is definitely looking better than the defense dive here, as a Reinhardt can, a Rhino Rissa on this map, in my opinion, could really be a fantastic defense. The transformation onto the Winston comes from Venom, and he's in the back line, but if he gets slept or stunned enough, he's probably going to die, as nobody's really there to back him up quite yet. Andromedus follows him in, but he's diving in possibly a little too deep. He pops the Primal Rage. He's really just pushing them back as far as possible, trying to buy that time. He runs, but he may not even be able to get out with the Echo boost. No, he will be able to escape. Throws the bombs down, trying to farm his ultimate as quickly as possible. Tajidu takes out Guillotine. 2 ultimates from the Rampage, 1 from Team Azalea. Lands every single bomb onto the D.Va, dropping him to almost half health. Venom getting a little bit messy here, getting caught out. He's 60 health, and if he cannot get out of here alive, it's going to give Team Azalea the perfect window to dodge through and get out of there. The bomb coming out from Kill Switch. It's going to be a big one. Bada bing, bada boom. Another big goose egg. Andromedus loses his mech before he can pop the bomb. Sarank gets the pulse bomb onto baby Andromedus. Kind of a waste of a pulse if you ask me, but if it got them the kill they needed to cap the point, then it was all worth it. The rally comes out from Malorad, but it might not be enough as the team is already dead. It's just him and Derpy on the point. 2 behind them, but they're putting a lot of pressure onto Malorad, and if Malorad falls, another Nano Blade. This one's got to be bigger. It's got to be huge. He takes out Malorad. It's already equipping both supports down. Astronomical making up for that last one. That was a little bit sloppy. Take out both supports, making this a very difficult fight to win for the Rampage. He's going to get in Venom Man's face, but Venom Man hears him and dodges himself out of the way. The Pulse Bomb now live from Mui. He does not throw it quite yet. He's putting a lot of pressure down. He's got to get more eliminations here with 3 minutes left on the clock. Mui falls to a baby D.Va. Not looking good here. The Rampage have the spawn advantage, but the Team Azalea, like I said, probably the most aggressive team we've seen against the Rampage. Malorad gets the kill onto Astronomical. Things are looking really, really up for the Rampage here. Killswitch gets back in his mech, which is not good, though. But they're going to farm just more ult charge off of him. He's very low, but they're not going to be able to confirm that kill. With 3 ultimates coming from Team Azalea here, and only 2 coming from the Rampage, it's going to be difficult to do what they want to do. Guillotine is literally less than 100 health. No, he will be healed back up. But again, a very preemptive rally. I don't know if I misunderstand how you're supposed to use a rally, but today these Brigidas are just pressing Q. The boop! Wow, what a tactical boop from Little Friar. Derpy goes to leap down. Little Friar says, come back in a couple of seconds. The pulse bomb comes out from Mui, but it's not going to get any of the kills he's looking for. Little Friar just holding left click on cart, or on point, excuse me. It's the only thing he can really do. Venom Man is now swapping back onto the Winston. We got 3 Winstons in play at this moment, but he may not be able to confirm the Primal Rage as the enemy team is very spread out. Puts pressure onto the Genji, onto Astronomical, who's really close to another Nano Blade, but he's not going to be able to get it in time. Kill Switch sends it down the alley, gets a kill onto Tajidu. This is the window they needed. This is the window Team Azalea needed to cap this point. They've already got 1 tick. They're going to have to get 2 more, 1.5 more ticks to confirm this point and give them a time bank. Venom gets a kill, but then kills himself with the bombs. The Nano Blade now coming out. Mui dodges it, but Malorad does not. Malorad's taken out. Derpy is taken out. This is the fight. This is the blade they needed earlier. This is the damage they needed earlier. Team Azalea is putting a lot of pressure down. Mui trying to stall the cart for as long as possible is taken out by Astronomical. Venom being caught out by Astronomical as well. If he can confirm this kill. No! Nobody was on point. Nobody was on cart. They played a little bit too defensively, and it looks like that Team Azalea is able to finish, get both points with 1.5 minutes left on the clock. We're going to have to see one hell of an offense here from the Rampage if they want us to do, if they want to take us to a, if they want to win the series, excuse me. Stuttering all over myself today. I do apologize for that. Dantek on the Ana, Low Friar on the Brig, Tajidu on the Ana, Malorad on the Brig. I don't think we've seen anything since the Mercy from Dantek, and I don't think we will see anything. It looks like today is just the day of the dive. The dive comp, dive comp, dive comp. I'm amazed that after seeing such a successful Genji play from Astronomical, not quite perfect, but the blades coming in handy when they needed him. I'm surprised Venom Man himself has not swapped onto that Genji. I've seen him play the Genji, and I've seen him play it well, so I'm surprised he's still sticking to the Echo, and while Echo may be meta, sometimes it's just better to play the heroes that you know well, the heroes that you're comfortable with. But it looks like he's probably just trying to learn that Echo, trying to learn what needs to be done, what he needs to do. Derpy and Andromedus on the Winston D.Va, we know we're comfortable there, but like at this point, should we consider something else? As maybe it's not working quite as well as they were hoping. The double shield comp coming from Guillotine and Kill Switch. I'm quite excited to see double shield here, as it's a really good defense. It's a great way to hold, especially this first point, but also the second point. Sarang on the Junkrat as well. This is basically Junkrat's map. As playing Junkrat on the defense, every entrance to the point is a small corridor, and that is where Junkrat thrives. Hello, Astronomical. Lil Friar, wow, I really just said, I don't think we're going to see anything else from these folks. And then Lil Friar and Dantek said, hey, let's play different supports. Let's make the caster's curse happen. Excuse me, the Baptiste definitely going to be a valuable pick here, but if he's caught out by Venom Man, it's going to be the reason that the Rampage can win this first point. Playing that high ground, very, very dangerous. If he's dove, he'll have to use Immortality. Immortality will be forced out. If he's caught out by Venom Man, again, Immortality, if he can even react fast enough. So it's going to be very difficult for him to realize or to get the value he wants standing in the back line out in the open like that and not get picked right away. A very early trap from Sarang was eliminated. But Sarang, like I said, is going to get a lot of value here just by playing Junkrat. All he has to do is hold down that fire button. He's going to get the value he's looking for. That's a guarantee. Dantek drops very low, but I don't think they noticed or they would have dove on that. GG Team 20% of that bongo already, over a mere 10% from both tanks on the Rampage. GG Team definitely getting the most value on this Orisa here. The ult advantage slightly in the favor of Team Azalea here. Derpy dives in, a confusing choice, but he immediately gets the ult charge he was missing. He's going to dive back up. You can tell by his playstyle that he's gonna dive into the team again. Yep, there he is, up, and what goes up must come down, but he's already down to 50 health. He might be eliminated here. It's going to get really close. No, but Mui finds the pick on Dantek. Mui gets eliminated by Astronomical. Venom Man takes out Sarang. The Junkrat being missing, really not good here. The Nano Boost connecting onto Derpy. They're willing to commit ultimates to this fight. They think this is the fight they can win. This is the fight they're looking for. 75% of that Primal Rage and both damage being down. This is now the fight they can do. Derpy getting that Primal Rage out of the Nano. He jumps up just to land, trying to get that damage, but it's going to be difficult. They've got to get rid of the Sigma here. The Sigma's going to fall. The Orisa and the Baptiste hiding in this back room. They don't even have to really kill them yet. Just keep them in the room for as long as possible. But Derpy's ready to go on that Rampage. He gets 3 of them, takes them out of the fight. The Rampage capped the first point with 5.5 minutes on the clock and already up 2, but they will insta-respawn due to the 2 CP changes, so the Temple of Snowball can't be snowballed quite as hard, but things are looking really good for the Rampage here. 5 minutes on the clock, 2, almost 5 ultimates online. I know that's quite a lot. It's quite a large difference with 3 people almost to that ultimate. Derpy getting such a quick kill, such a fantastic kill. This is the fight. This is the value. This is what they were looking for. No, Mui does get eliminated by Dantek, and the tire does come out. It's got to be a huge tire from Sarang here if he wants to get the value he's looking for. It is not. It is whip-shotted away by Malorad, completely negated of all value. The Gravitic Flux coming out as well on a Derpy. Derpy will probably be eliminated here by this Gravitic Flux. Yes, as predicted, he will. The Rampage not pushing in quite as aggressively as I think they needed to, as those they eliminated early on are finally back to the point. The swap onto the Rhine from GG Team is exactly what the Azalea is going to need here, as they're going to need quite more aggression and a larger shield to keep them alive. Transcendence was forced to keep both tanks alive, but it's not going to be enough as Dantek gets too far from Killswitch. Killswitch is eliminated by Movie. Venom Man get high in the sky. Astronomical with a double headshot kill from the Storm Arrow. Make that a triple. Astronomical's on a Rampage. Do we see 4? He's getting really aggressive. No, he will be eliminated by the bombs from Venom Man, but Astronomical with the Hanzo headshots up close and personal. Get the triple kill all on his own. Absolutely phenomenal. GG Team takes out Andromeda's. Really looking good here. Team Azalea is finally able to flip this point back in their favor. Team Rampage committing so much for so long, a very long fight, and they didn't even get any ticks. They got a 0 ticks. GG Team back onto the Orisa. An interesting swap, but I think possibly a necessary one is if they can get that bongo, Astronomical and Sarang can just dump their primary fires into the enemy team and get insane amounts of value. Also, GG Team is playing a Orisa, which is a little bit more mindless of a hero than Reinhardt. You can basically just hit that shield button every couple seconds and just hold down left click quite mindlessly. Derpy gets the kill on Astronomical, drops to 9 health, but is able to make it out. He's jumping back in possibly. No, he will pick up the Mega before diving back in. They're up 2. 2 falling on the side of Team Azalea here. The Rampage are going to have to get aggressive. They're going to have to get these kills early because they're going to come back so quickly. 82 seconds, or 82%, excuse me. GG Team falling as well. The Rampage are up seriously in numbers. They're going to need some big ult. Astronomical takes out Taijidu. Not looking good. They're going to have to get the tick they're looking for. They're not going to win the fight off. They're not going to win the game off this fight, as Team Azalea is going to come back very quickly, but they've got to get even a single tick. That's what they need. Venomman gets the kill onto Sarang, who's swapped onto the Doomfist to make it back to point faster, but it's stall. It's all about the stalls. Malorad goes for the shield bash, but doesn't have it, so Mui is pinned by GG Team. Malorad taken out by a Flame Strike as well. GG Team swaps to the Rhine again. Why doesn't he just stay on the Reinhardt? The bomb comes from Andromeda's, picks up 0. He's going to be pinned. No! GG Team goes right through him. Very unusual. Taishidu taken out from Killswitch as well. They're now onto that Rhine Diva, which seems to be a very good comp for them. Venom Man's going to lose this transformation. He's not going to get the value he's looking for. The Rampage still did not get a single tick. Absolutely phenomenal defense from Team Azalea. They've lost these fights so many times, but they swap to the right heroes. They swap to what needs to be done, and they get in there. They do what needs to be done. And the value is being shown time and time again by them. It's absolutely phenomenal. GG team looks like he will be swapping back to the Orisa again. You know, at this point, you've got to wonder, you've swapped to that Reinhardt twice, so why aren't you just staying on that Reinhardt? GG team, if you watch this video, please let me know because I'm so curious behind the strategy you have there. Venom Man, 20% to his transformation. 2 ultimates from the Rampage, 1 ultimate from Team Azalea, but the Rampage from Team Azalea is the Hanzo Dragons, which is a great zoner for points like this, especially straight down the middle. The Pulse Bomb comes out, picks up Astronomical. There's no more ult online for Team Azalea, but Venom Man's getting a lot of pressure put onto him. The Primal Rage comes out from Derpy. He passes a very low Moira, trying to confirm a kill onto Sarang, but Sarang is able to make it to the Mega and out of the fight on time. There are the Dragons from spawn, just as predicted. It will get no kills, but a lot of damage. Derpy dropping very low. He gets punched by Sarang. He's going to have to leap out of there. He's going to risk dying. Venom Man eliminated by Sarang as well. The Baby Diva onto the point is eliminated. The Rampage are getting very close to their first tick, but Team Azalea is just pouring out one by one by one. They're always there to eliminate the Rampage. Derpy at 37 health. 1 support is just his Brigida in his front line here with him. A minute and a half left on the clock. No, even if Team Rampage is able to confirm the second point, the technical win does already go to Team Azalea. The Team Rampage were not able to do it fast enough. The incredible defense from Azalea does pay off. Louis 40% onto his pulse bomb, being chased down into the unknown. He goes for the midi, but being chased down by over half the team. They all chase him down. They get the kill, which is absolutely worth it with 60 seconds left on the clock. The Rampage have 2 ultimates, almost 3 in the bag, but so do Team Azalea here. That Bongo and the bomb going to be great zoners for the point to keep Rampage off the point, because all they've got is that bubble and the Brig shield to hide from a bomb, which is very difficult to do, while Team Azalea's got the entire Orisa shield to hide from a bomb as well, which would be much easier to do, as they can't really all fit behind a Brig shield, but the Orisa shield is so large, the entire team can hide behind it. A very early rally comes out from Malorad. That's basically a telltale sign. It's basically a bullhorn that says, hey, we're pushing in, get ready for it. Sarang takes out Taijutsu right away. Rampage not looking good. This is their last good fight. The bomb comes out from Kill Switch. Looks like it might be big. Confirms the kill on Malorad, whose shield was eliminated. Derpy's 78% to that ultimate, but it looks like he may not even get it in time. He's going to have to move back, and they're going to need a wrecking ball. They're going to need somebody to touch the point. It's 15 seconds to get in there. It's going to be really difficult. Malorad swaps to the Lucio. That might be exactly what they needed, but a single whip shot or headshot off the point is going to make it completely impossible for him to touch. Derpy now close enough to touch. Just holding W did luckily get him close enough. Kill Switch knows that Venom Man is behind him. The Nano Boost comes through onto Derpy. He makes it onto the point. The Primal Rage is now live. If he can cap the second point, it would be a miracle. He drops less than half health. He's putting the pressure down. Nobody's on the point. The overtime ticks down. Derpy's got the Primal Rage, but this is not the Primal control we need to see right now. The bomb comes out from Andromeda as well, picks up GG. The shield wasn't enough, takes out the D-Mech as well. A double kill from Mui with the Pulse Bomb. This is exactly what the Rampage needed so long ago. They've already technically lost the map, but if they can confirm the second, we can see a serious turnaround for them here. Sarang takes out Derpy and Venom Man. No, it looks like they won't even be able to get the second point at all, losing the map 2-1. To them. It's not over quite yet, as Malorad and Andromeda are getting these kills, but with the serious spawn advantage from Azalea, it's most likely the Dragons coming probably from spawn straight down the middle. Yes, they will, making a great zoner for the team here. I have also fixed the score, so it is now 2-2 for both teams, and it will be taking us to our final map of the evening, which I believe is Ilios, and this is the first scrim we've ever seen for the Rampage where it's actually a 2-2 scenario. They haven't already won by map 5. Oh, fantastic punch from Sarang, not to kill Venom Man, but just to take him out of the fight for a few more seconds. That might be exactly what they needed. This is probably the longest stall I've ever seen on this map, and I've played Temple of Anubis an unfortunate amount of times. Team Azalea is just always there. They're doing what needs to be done. Their defense, so solid. They get the kills they're looking for, and it looks like that Team Rampage won't even get that second point at all. They're instead just going to get the first one, and that's going to be all they can really find. So it is now 2-2, our final map being Oasis. We're ready to jump right into a map, Oasis Ruins. No, Oasis Ilios, excuse me. Ilios Ruins. Malorad on the Brigida. We've got the dive comp coming from both teams, but a Lucio. No, not a dive comp. Wow, wait, a very unusual comp coming from Team Azalea. They've got the Ryan Winston, Torbjorn May, Lucio Moira. So they've got half a very mobile team and then half a very slow team. GG left shifts in, not exactly the best call there as he gets slept. That could eliminate him from the fight, but his supports are right on top of him. So it looks like he may be able to survive this very early. Mui does find the turret, already takes it out of the fight, so it's now a fair 6v6, no auto-aim involved, hopefully. GG 40% to that slam already. Derpy 50% to his primal. He gets the kill on the Derpy. Supports definitely being the MVP of that fight, as Lil Friar and Dantek just would not let GG Team dive. Mui finds a pick onto Lil Friar, but the Winston dives onto him. He's going to grapple up, but he misses the grapple, falls onto the lower area. He's going to have to back up a little bit, 63% to sights, but that might not be absolutely necessary. The Widow pick being very common on this map. We might see Mui swap to the Reaper, because with the Winston being so aggressive and the Reinhardt following him, the Reaper would just get so much more value. We see the swap onto the Ryan D.Va Mei Reaper. Yep, as predicted, the team is swapping to the exact comp I was thinking of here. This is a comp we've seen the Rampage run. This is a comp we know they're comfortable with. Kill switch 80% to that Primal Rage, which is not good because the Rampage just gave up all the ults they had. You wonder why they didn't start with this team comp to begin with. This is the one they're good at. This is the map they play it on. Now they're in such an ultimate deficit that we just need to hope that Team Azalea here pops every ultimate they have, which, wow, like clockwork, it looks like they will. And it looks like it's going to be exactly what they need. Caught out. They're going to be eliminating the entirety of the Rampage one by one. Mui uses the Wraith here, but it's not going to be enough. He's literally 10 health, 28 health. He's got to get back into spawn or get healed because they're going to take him out here. 2 ultimates from Team Azalea and almost 3. Venom Man getting a very early pick on the Dantaker with no mercy. He's going to be out of the fight for about 15 to 20 seconds, which is fantastic for the Rampage. The turret down as well. They're going to have to push, but they're down in the ultimates. If that Blizzard comes out in a close corridor like this, it's going to get messy. The Primaling Winston's just kind of feeding ultimates a little bit here. The Molten Core coming out as well, but it's going to make him a very easy target as Mui can just get up close and personal. Mui's going to have to move back out of the Molten Core. The Blizzard, there it is, as predicted. Mui's going to get eliminated, most likely. Derpy in the lead. Mui to follow, Tajidu as well. Looks like the Rampage are going to have to be pushed off the point. 90% already on the point for Team Azalea. It looks like Team Azalea the Rampage might not get the cap this point at all because Team Azalea's defense is just so strong. They get onto the point, they know exactly what they need to do, and they do what needs to be done. The Rampage won't even get the touch. No, excuse me. It looks like Malorad may be on that point. He may have flanked behind them, but it won't be for very long. The Blizzard comes out from Venom, but he gets pinned immediately by Derpy. No, excuse me. Sarang gets pinned by Derpy. The Blizzard is absolutely massive. Takes out 2. The Rampage finally getting to turn this point around in their favor. Possibly. It's absolutely still anybody's game. The bomb comes out from Andromeda, picks up kill switch, taking the Winston out of the fight. The Rampage are now higher up in the numbers advantage. They now have the advantage over Team Azalea. Is this the turnover we needed to be seeing? It looks like the answer is going to be yes. The Rampage are finally able to flip this point in their favor. It will not be a 99-0. The Rampage are finally able to flip the point and make the Azalea become the offense. The Rampage finally get to play that defense that they're so good at. 3 ultimates on the side of the Rampage with only 1 on the side of Azalea. You figure the Rampage should win these next fights pretty easily unless that shatter is absolutely massive. GG Team possibly looking for a flank shatter, running that far left side. Not something you see often, but I guess that helps him avoid getting pinned or caught out by the Mei. Mui teleporting up, just trying to get some kill confirmation, sneak in behind the enemy team. It's going to have to be a really big Death Blossom because he's not with his team. GG Team got stunned out of the ultimate and is immediately eliminated. Mui pops the Death Blossom here, but it's not going to be enough. It looks like he may have been stunned as well. He finds the kill on Lil Friar. Maybe it is going to be worth it here. He doesn't get the kill with the ult, but he gets the damage he needed. He drops very, very low. He's going to have to move back as that Winston is absolutely relentless. The Molten Core comes out, but is blocked off mostly by Venom Man's ultimate, or excuse me, by his wall. Winston leaps in onto the Reaper. I don't think that was his correct play, but oh no, he will pop the Primal Rage. He's trying to kill this Reaper as he knows the Reaper is going to be his biggest problem. The Blizzard comes out from Sarang. 53% on the point for the Rampage, but Tajidu may be eliminated here by Sarang. He misses the Sleep Dart. It's going to get bad here if Sarang can confirm this kill onto Tajidu. Yes, Tajidu finally falls. That's the exact pick they needed. Team Azalea is going to be able to flip this point, most likely back in their favor. Malorad sings the saddest song I've ever seen as he tries to hold on to this point for just a few more percent, but he cannot get it out. Team Azalea is able to confirm the first pick, the first map. They are 1 map away from taking the win over the Rampage. I've said it 100 times. I'm going to say it 100 more. This is the closest scrim we've ever seen from the Rampage. I think it might be a synergy thing as Venom Man is subbing in and they're constantly playing that Winston D.Va, trying to get in that practice. But if they wanted the win, which, you know, they probably don't because this is just practice. They're probably not playing just to win. They're probably playing to improve these comps. But if they wanted these wins, they needed to be on that Rein Zarya or that Rein D.Va earlier because that Reinhardt, Derpy on the Reinhardt is the best map. Oh, here we can see Ilios Ruins is connected to Ilios Well, and I'm sure Ilios Lighthouse isn't far behind either. Just a very, just a very fun fact, a very interesting thing to see. It looks like the Rampage are going to be swapping into a very unusual team comp here. Not unusual per se, but one we haven't seen today. With the BAP Brig, interesting. And then you've got the Ashe and the Echo. Again, very interesting. They've got the high ground and the low ground covered, medium to long range covered, and then the double shield, which I think is smart, especially against a Torbjorn. But if kill switch is on this ball and we've got Derpy running the Orisa, it's going to be very difficult for Derpy to get away from this ball. As kill switch could constantly be in the back line, maybe even find some boops, some kill confirmations. It'll be phenomenal. The gates will be opening any second now, and it will be phenomenal to see these different swaps. Sarang on the Doomfist, that immediately pokes a hole in the plan of the Rampage, even though they don't know that Doomfist is coming for them any second. No, the May possibly being an even stronger pick, but you never really know what's going to happen. As if Movie can land these headshots or Derpy gets some big pulls, then he could take this team out of the fight no matter what heroes they're playing. Astronomical being on the Torbjorn is just absolutely awesome, as it reminds me of the first time Torbjorn was played in the OWL. He was played by Defran on Ilios Well. That was the first time Defran busted out Torbjorn in OWL. I believe it was the first time Torbjorn was ever played in the Overwatch League. It was fantastic to see. The gates are finally open. We're looking at a Rhine Ball versus a Winston D.Va. We're back to the Winston D.Va. You wonder, why are they running it again? We're back to the Winston D.Va dive, but we saw with the Reinhardt, it doesn't work out quite like they wanted. If they swapped for the team comp last map, why wouldn't they swap this map? That's something you've got to wonder, especially with the aggression that Guillotine is constantly showing. A big anti-nade from Tajidu here, but Derpy's being a little bit caught out. He goes for the pin, he misses the entire team in the backline. Derpy is stuck, but makes it out. That jump spam gets him out very quickly. Very lucky to survive. Astronomical finding the kill on Venom Man. Torb takes out the Echo. Derpy almost halfway to that ult. Looks like the point cap will go in the favor of Team Azalea here. If this is the map they needed, if this is the pick they needed. Yes, Movie falling as well. Team Azalea confirming their confirmation. Guillotine taking out 2. He gets the pick on Tajidu just with the charge, but takes the mech from Andromedas with the pin. It's a pretty clean fight for Team Azalea here. They're pushing forward, getting a little too aggressive, looking for very early damage. Astronomical just spamming that primary fire, playing Torbjorn the only way he can really be played. A very low skill, high reward hero, this Torbjorn, with the auto aim and the spam fire. There's really no other way to play him. Nothing against Astronomical. We've seen Astronomical's a phenomenal player. It's just playing this hero specifically is by no means Astronomical's fault, but this hero is just very simple to play, very easy hero, and that seems to be working out for Team Azalea here, as he's found so many fantastic kills, so many good kills just by holding that left click and spamming these lava balls. 50% on the point for Team Azalea already. It looks like they're getting ready to put a bow on this, tie it up, and send the Rampage home with their first loss. Not ever, but while I've been casting. Tajidu on the Baptiste. We know Tajidu can get a little bit bloodthirsty on this hero, but maybe that's exactly what the Rampage need here. The bomb coming out, the dynamite coming out from Movie here. They're going to have to get aggressive. The Molten Core comes out. It looks like a lot of it got stuck in the wall by Sarang. Possibly a little bit of a miscommunication into getting the damage, but a lot of it was stuck by the wall. Astronomical drops low to Movie, hiding in the back line. Venom Man swaps to the Reinhardt, misses the charge, and now he's caught out of position. He's going to lose the charge right away. No, he will be healed, but he gets hammered down. He does not block the shatter. He does not get a shatter of his own. Either Malorad confirms the kill onto kill switch. Bob comes out from Movie as well, immediately booped out of... Oh no, he's still in the fight. He's still getting the damage, but the wall from Sarang is going to make him out. The beat dropped by Lil Fryer with 5% left on the map. Azalea is in favor here of winning this map, giving them the dub for the evening. Sarang takes out Andromedas, but Derpy takes out GG. Kill switch is back in the fight. Sarang on the May. The May is worth it. The May gets the damage. She does what needs to be done. Derpy, the only one left able to touch the point, but he will be eliminated. Send that horse straight to the glue factory. The blizzard comes out as well. The wall just add insult to injury, and it looks like Team Azalea does take the win for the evening over the Rampage. We will still play Ilios Lighthouses. Again, this is a scrimmage. It's about playing the maps. It's about playing the team comps, but an absolutely phenomenal performance from everyone here. Team Azalea running team comps they're a little bit more comfortable with, a little bit more familiar with, while the Rampage have spent a lot of this scrim having a ringer for their damage hero and playing team comps that they don't play as often on these maps. They play the dive sometimes, but they're playing the dive on every map today, and that does not seem to be working out for them, as possibly they need those shields to get as aggressive as GG Team's been able to get here. Oh, excuse me. Astronomical and Sarang both doing a lot of damage on Venom Man, keeping him low on the ground, and you don't get the value as Echo you're looking for playing that low ground. You need to be high in the sky, getting that long distance damage, but Sarang we've seen has very, very good aim and will put any flyer in their place. Derpy's on the Reinhardt, and fingers crossed we actually see it coming out today. Because Ryan versus Ryan's a lot easier than Winston versus Ryan, especially with a Mei or a McCree right behind, because those stuns or those freezes onto a Winston makes him essentially useless. Venomman swaps onto the Mei, Mui onto the McCree as well. We're seeing a team comp we haven't seen all day, and I'm stoked to see it. This is something we know the Rampage are comfortable with. I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to turn this map around as they're once again finally playing those team comps that we know that they're so good at. Sarang swaps to the Mei as well. It's going to be a Mei v Mei. Team comps very different here. Killswitch just hurtling into the map. He's going to be the first one onto the point here. The first one into the team fight. But just because you're first in might mean you're first out. It can get very risky to be playing this far back. He uses his shields, his adapted shields very early. Not quite getting the value he wants. He slams in already 30% of that ultimate. Tajidu misses the sleep dart. Kind of a Hail Mary shot there. It's going to be very difficult for either Ryan to get aggressive, especially with Malorad on that Luzio bouncing around in the back line. He's ready to get some kill confirms here. Derpy's walled off from the rest of his team, but Malorad dances around. Mui gets caught up in the flash. No, Mui catches Sarang with the flashbang, takes out Lil Fryer and Dantek as well. The damage already proving to be a much better choice here. The Mei McCree, even though Mui has fallen, he's taken out so many. The boop from Malorad onto the ball, but Killswitch is able to make it back. He hits the boop again. That looks like the kill confirmation. Boop back to boop. It looks like Killswitch is getting out of here. Derpy gets the shatter, but dies. Basically the Derpy special here. Get that shatter, first one to die on the team. Killswitch swapping to the Winston over the ball, most likely trying to put some more pressure on Tajidu and Malorad as we see this healer duo much more confident than the Brig we've been seeing run all night. While Malorad plays a mean Brig, we know his Lucio is absolutely relentless in terms of aggression and healing. He puts the speed on to help his team kind of group up a little bit. They're in a full 6-year speed. We're watching Lil Fryer this entire time, aren't we? Lil Fryer is pushing his team up here. Derpy he has the shatter, he gets the nano boost. It's going to have to be a big shatter. No, he gets pinned instead off the map, which is absolutely the fantastic play from GG18. It eliminates, sure, GG18's out of the fight, but so is that nano boost, and so is that shatter for Derpy. Both Ryans are out of the fight, but now Team Azalea is up in numbers, and they can flip this fight in their favor. Team Rampage 50% onto the point already. Andromedus tries to fly out, but is frozen just a second in time. Keeps him on top of that point. Astronomical takes out Malorad. This final fight, they've got 2 ultimates. Team Azalea does almost 4 on the clock with the Rampage already having 3. Malorad taken out. He's getting staggered quite a bit, but with that speed boost, he can make it back to his team rather quickly. The question is, how long can Derpy stand here and take damage before the rest of his team gets to him? He can only hold up that shield for so long, especially after the shield nerfs. It's very difficult to play rectangle at this point. You've got to play a much more aggressive Reinhardt. The shatter still ready. Derpy holding onto the shatter, making sure he doesn't waste it, looking for a great opportunity. It looks like it might be coming out any second here. The high noon comes from Mood, but it's walled out. He's looking to get any kind of kill confirmation. He gets a lot of damage onto GG18. GG18 gets the shatter, but it's immediately eliminated. The beat comes out. A lot of ultimates are coming out. Molten Core not far to follow. Astronomical is stunned. He throws the Molten Core, but a lot of it's going to be to waste. Andromedus takes out Sarang. Tajidu is gone. And Astronomical, no, he gets the kill with the Molten Core. Killswitch takes out Mui as well. With 40%, Andromedus, the tactical reset with 40% on the map, but every single ultimate except for Blizzard being used. The Rampage, this might be the window they need to turn this around and win this final map for the evening. Another big issue between Azalea and the Rampage is ult control. While Azalea may have won where they may be winning this map, we see a huge difference in ult control. While the Rampage use in ultimate or 2 ultimates per fight, Azalea really just pressed Q. Everyone except the Mei just pressed Q to win that fight, and that puts them at a serious ultimate deficit here as the ult economy is completely in the favor. Andromedus goes for the eat on the Blizzard, but it does not connect. Possibly a server error, possibly on server side. It looks like he ate it on our side. Derpy gets the kill onto Dantek while Andromedus loses the mech. That may not matter at this point as he can afford to get aggressive. Tajidu and Mui both picking up kills as well. The Rampage finally able to flip this point back in their favor, but they're very close to last fight potential. Killswitch dives in, but less than 100 health. He's going to be eliminated very quickly. Really not looking good here for them. Venomman and Mui and Malorad all have their ultimates here, getting a double stagger onto the Team Azalea, 60%. This is going to be last fight before the stagger, before the panic push comes from Team Azalea. If the Rampage can flip this last fight in their favor, I wouldn't be surprised. We've seen them do it before. We know they're very good at Ilios Lighthouse. Specifically Ilios Lighthouse, they're very good here. Andromedus getting back in that mech. Finally, he's got the bomb. He's online. 4 ultimates coming from the Rampage, almost 5. With 0, almost 1 on the side of Azalea here. Basically, they can wait for Team Azalea to push in and then just blizzard the point and call it a day. I don't think GG18 is going to get the shatter. I don't think he's going to get the value he's looking for, especially if he gets walled off. Venomman holding out on the damage just to get the wall. He gets the wall, he throws the blizzard, but he's going to fall. He gets the blizzard up, but Killswitch in that back line makes it very difficult for him to get out of there in time. This is going to be difficult. The high noon comes from Mui and the beat comes from Malorad. He gets the kill onto Lil Fryer. The Molten Core comes from Astronomical as well as the blizzard from Sarang. 99% on the map, but it looks like Team Rampage is going to lose this fight. Again, more ultimates coming out, all of them except for one. GG team does get that, but now it's panic push time from the Rampage. They only have one ultimate. Derpy's 10% off that Shadow, but can he even get to point fast enough to use it? Venom Man is alive, but he's out on his own. A lot of pressure being put onto him as they know he's up there. Andromedus is with him. They're going to have to push with or without the rest of their team. They're very close. The map is ticking away. 5% left. Is this going to be a 3-0 for Ilios in favor of Team Azalea? The shatter comes out from GG team. No, the wall might prevent them from getting. No, Movie gets a kill. Andromedus falls off the map. Possibly the tactical reset. Possibly frozen off the map. Taiju gets the kill. Sarang cleans up Movie, but no, it looks like the fight is currently in favor of Team Azalea. Yes, it looks like they may get the 3-0 on Ilios over the Rampage. The beat coming out from Lil Fryer just to be safe. No, it looks like the Team Azalea is able to prevent Rampage from taking the fight and will win for the evening. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. We will see you next time. Have a great evening.